Tone, doing the real work.
Crawf, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Great to see you.
Yeah, you too.
What are you doing here?
Oh, well, I believe Santa Claus has been overnight.
Are you serious?
Dropped something off for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he come down the chimney?
Do you guys have a chimney here?
We have no chimney.
Ah.
And with what he bought, would it fit down the chimney?
No, I don't know if an Avantis will fit down the chimney.
Are you talking Avantis?
I'm talking Avantis, Tony.
Let's see what you've got in mind.
Let's see.
Is this the new Avantis?
No, this is analog, Tony, but it's bigger than this, Tone.
Digital, you say?
Yeah, and larger, but this is D-Live.
I've seen this one before.
I know, we've had these for a while now, but it's smaller than this, Tony.
Huh? Digital and smaller. Here we go then. But
this is SQ. Again, great console, Tony. And you know, a lot of people love them, but it's in between D-Live and SQ.
how are you doing this?
This is the Avantis.
The first time seen here at Factory Sound,
Yep.
just after the release and just before it's due to hit the market.
Yep. Yeah, so Avantis, couple of big picture things for you. 64 inputs, 42 buses. So it's a lot of console, running at 96K, and it's got the Allen Heath, what we're all used to now, 0.7 milliseconds latency input to output.
That's nothing.
No.
Well, next to nothing.
Yeah.
So feature-wise, we're in betwixt the SQ and the D-Live here.
Yeah, so SQ, if you remember, is 48 inputs, D-Live's 128. At 64 inputs, has still got a lot of routing options for you, Tony.
We like that. Alex will appreciate that.
I know, Alex will do. Obviously, with 42 mix buses, that's a lot of in-ear mixes, if that's what you're doing. So bands, that's a lot of matrices. Your effects sends and returns, so you've got your 64 inputs. You've got 12 effects engines that are also on top of your 64 inputs. So you can always have your effects returning and not sacrificing your inputs.
Oh, that's great. So can we see the effects slots come up?
Yeah, so if I press the button here, I haven't loaded any yet. So let's load something. Okay, they're very familiar. We've got obviously our reverbs and all those kind of things. So there's a whole, selection of great effects. So they call them slots because they're actually loaded up here in slots like effects racks. So yeah, very simple to use, and we can pull those down to the surface. So some things you'll notice, they've got this really nice illumination in the bottom of the armrest this time because we didn't want lights at the top because of these huge touchscreens that they've added to the console. Something else for Allen Heath users, you'll notice it is mixing the select button because it's all touchscreen driven now. So everything we want, we just select, and then we've got controls over all those items.
Outboard-wise, what do we plug in and out of this?
So one of the great things about Avantis is it runs with what they call everything I/O. So even if you've got old legacy 2412 boxes that you had with a GLD, for argument's sake, they will plug in.
Wow.
So it will also run with the D-Live, so the DX boxes, and then there is also a new box called a GX4816, which is the perfect partner to your Avantis. 48 inputs, 16 outputs. It's got an ME port on it, and it's got another DX port on it.
Now, can I ask you about dynamics and EQ?
Yeah, so the Avantis has another product called D-Pack that comes with it, which gives you all of the nice compressor algorithm modeling that Allen Heath have spent a lot of time working on. Any of the D-Live users already are very familiar with this, where there's a lot of familiar modeled compressor algorithms.
Say no more.
And the dynamic EQs, the Dyne8, which is a great tool. It's called the D-Pack bundle. We've decided to bundle that all together, so you buy the console and the D-Pack bundle because everyone wants that anyway. It's one of the main things that makes the console extra special.
Yep. I noticed on the back of here there's a couple of slots.
Yeah. Yep. So at the moment we've got audio running on this off a computer. I've got a Waves card in here. It utilizes the same cards as D-Live. So they are 128 channel card slots. Okay. They will sample rate convert those card slots, and there's a whole choice of Dante cards, Waves cards, Matty cards, AES cards. There's 2 card slots in the back that you can load up into this console.
And the local I/O on the back, what do we enjoy there, Crawf?
12 in, 12 out, plus some AES. So unlike D-Live, Avantis, the brain and everything this is the package in its full metal chassis. So, you know, if you've looked at the marketing, it's not plastic, it's metal. So you can take this standalone. We could take this to even a small corporate gig, plug 12 things in and do a show. So you don't have to carry extra I/O with you depending on the size show you're doing today.
So, Crawf, what makes this such a fast console to mix on?
Well, yeah, so one of the things, and Allen Heath did this in D-Live, is they've given us spill groups. So your DCAs, and a lot of guys are used to using their DCAs as their masters for, you know, grouping channels together, drums, guitars, euphoniums, okay?
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. So with a spill group, I can hit the mix button of my DCA. So if you notice, I've got sort of channels 1 to 12 here on the board. When I hit DCA 1 mix, spill, it's spilling 25, 26, 27. They're the members of that DCA. They could be my euphoniums, and obviously I should have turned them up, shouldn't I? Should never have the euphoniums
You
down.
need to hear a eupho.
So very quickly, I'm not having to page around the console to get to those channels. I'm just hitting spill, change the balance, and back. So I can have all my money channels here, all of the VIPs, the vocals, the trumpet, the saxophone. Okay, I'll turn the sax back down. But we can have all of the key things that we need today for the band, and then I can spill anything else to get access to it really quickly. So it's a very fast way of mixing.
Let's get into a channel strip and see what we see.
Again, so it's all touchscreen. You'll notice now that we've got this, you know, channel strip mode. Okay, so if I'm on the first channel here, I can jump in, I can grab the gate, turn it on. I have, you know, access to the controls. So it's all touchscreen driven. So this is a little bit of a change, and you'll notice also down the bottom we've got access to grab our filters here. Okay. Same with the compressor. So it's a little bit of a different architecture than D-Live, and that's part of because we don't have that select button now. But as you can see, these displays are very impressive looking.
How do they go in the daylight?
I have
Pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah,
I'll leave that question
No,
unanswered.
but I know Allen Heath if anyone who's been on social media have seen, they've had this console all through America in the desert, running on a variety of shows. So it's had a very good field testing. So, yeah.
And it's great. We've got the new firmware in there, and probably due for absolute release mid-December this year.
Yep, that's sounding good to me, Tony.
Well, on that point, I'd love to thank Crawf for coming down at Christmas. It's one of the most special Christmases that we've had, seeing the Avantis and knowing it's going to be available at Factory Sound before the 25th of December 2019. So from me to you, Crawf, thank you very much, and enjoy a very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Tone.
Ho, ho, ho.